Hey guys, I had a lot of you asking about car locks, and don't have a lot of experience with car locks, but Wayne Winton from Tri-County Locksmiths was kind enough to send this huge pile of car locks. Some of these have sidebar, some of them don't. Some of them are newer, some of them are older. Got a motorcycle lock. And we have a Chrysler lock that you see here. This is a Chrysler ignition lock. I think it's probably from an older model. Here's what your bitting looks like. And you'll notice on a car lock, this is kind of unusual. We have a very deep extension against the bow here, and then the pins begin. And that's because the pins are kind of buried deep up inside of there. So when we stick it in, our pick is going to have to go extra deep beyond the face of the lock. And I'm calling this edge here the face. You'll also notice that once we put the key in, the key is kind of extended by this, basically a built-in tension wrench to give the user a little bit of leverage. It would be hard to turn the pointy end of this key. It might hurt somebody's fingertips. So the car companies have just made it easier, giving people a little bit more leverage. So we can use this as kind of our tension wrench. Now what I've noticed about car locks is if you try to use, at least on the ignition locks, if you try to use this as your tension wrench, and I do, and I recommend it, don't put too much tension on it. Because it's so long, it's easy to bind those pins up. So let's see if we can't do this. I'm going to be sticking this, this is a standard hook by Dan Morris, all the way to the rear. I mean, you would think that that's like pin number 9, but actually it's the very last one. It's pin number 6. So let's see if we can't. A little bit of tension, and I'll show you the hard way to pick one of these first, and then I'll show you the easy way, probably the criminal's preferred method. If you can find a car that still uses these older ignition locks. Okay, that was pin 5. And I keep wanting to go up in the front like that, thinking that's pin 1, but actually pin 1 is about where I would feel for pin number 4 on a normal lock. I do get a fault set on this lock. I don't know if that's just sloppiness and tolerances, or if this thing really does have security pins in it. Very light on tension though, I learned that. Okay, last pin. Trying to find a binder. Okay, that was pin, what I believe is pin 2. I think I got him. I got a very slight turn on the core there. You're getting no counter rotation that would indicate that they're security pins. Got a good turn on the core now, but again, no feedback in terms of counter rotation. Now I'm just kind of bouncing on each of the pins. I think it's very, very close. I don't know if it's because of the age of the lock, or this thing probably had been started a million times before this was torn out of the car. So there might be some slop in it. And there we go. Bill sound effects. That, my friends, is the hard way to do it. Now, if you're a criminal, having opened up several of these, I found the best way, at least to do these Chryslers. Again, use this as the tension tool. Use a standard pick, and then simply zip it. Very light tension, and just kind of zip it. And you'll feel, as each of the pin sets, you'll feel that core. Get in there. You'll feel that core kind of turn a little bit, and there you go. That's the absolute fastest way that I found to pick these Chryslers. Again, these are older locks. There's a little bit of turn on the core, and just because we're able to pick newer locks doesn't mean we're going to be able to start the car, because most of them today has some kind of electronic chip. So we might be able to start it or at least get the engine to turn over, but if the chip is not in close proximity, we're not going to have any luck at all. But this is an older car lock, and like I said, that's the easiest way I found to open up these Chryslers. Again, there's the bidding. Wayne, thank you, sir, for the lock. Everybody else, stay safe, stay legal, and just because you can open these doesn't mean you should do it on a real car. So please don't, guys.